Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Redmen TV and your latest episode of Oppo Preview. My name is Dan Clubb. I am delighted to be joined by Aaron from Argyle Life, stroke the Green and White podcast. Aaron, my friend, how are you? Okay,
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm very well excited for the weekend.
good.
I caught a little bit. I'm not going to say I watched it all because I didn't, but I caught a little bit of your win over Tottenham last night, and there was just absolutely no way that we're as weak as they are. So, should be a good game.
Oh, it whetted the appetite then, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I make you right on that, to be honest with you, based on the evidence of last night. Spurs were so poor and yeah, just lacked any sort of desire to do anything in the game. It was an odd watch. It shouldn't have been so straightforward for a semi-final, let's put it like that. In terms of Plymouth, though, mate, the form obviously no longer Wayne Rooney's Plymouth. A win over West Brom recently, a decent draw with Sunderland as well. Obviously, the win over Brentford's probably the standout result in recent times to earn this tie. Are there signs, early signs of improvement under the new manager at all?
Yeah, so the Brentford game didn't come under him. That was he decided to sit in the stands for that one. He wanted the current caretaker um and our captain Joe Edwards to take that game as like a final hurrah. I don't think anybody expected us to win it. We definitely didn't, especially when the team sheets came out. We were like, that's it. Like we're getting battered here. The fact that we won that is absolutely mad. The fact that you know, it brings you down to home park is mental. But yeah, he's had the up to, the start was a bit shaky. We got a draw against Oxford, and then we lost to an inform QPR team, and then we got battered by Burnley 5-0. And Burnley are a team who famously do not score goals. So
Mm.
um, to, to have five put past you is like an absolute kick in the stomach. But we're sort of used to getting battered this season, as you mentioned, Wayne Rooney already. We've been battered by Sheffield Wednesday, by Cardiff. We went up to Leeds and didn't have a shot. Not a shot on target. We just didn't have a shot at all. We got battered by Norwich. We shipped five to Burnley, as I've said. Yeah, like we're used to it now. But Miron Muzic, our new manager, he's a Bosnian Austrian um, bloke who I'm going to be honest, never heard of, and I can't imagine you have either. He had more games than training sessions up until the
Wow.
gap between Burnley and Sunderland, and post Sunderland. And granted, it's only two games. We have looked so much better. We've looked so solid. Um, there might be a bit of the Tottenhams in us where I don't want to say park the bus, but we're defensively minded now, and we'll look to get that ball from back to front quickly. But it's not route one. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's still football. It's still fun to watch, but it's not your Jurgen Klopp football. Let's put it that way.
Okay, interesting. A little bit direct, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
able to mix it up. Let's put it like that.
yeah, that'll do. That'll
Diplomatically,
do.
diplomatically. Injury wise, coming into this one, how are you shaping up? And not just that, I guess, in terms of the strength of the squad, in terms of where you're at, because obviously your priorities are your priorities as well. Like this is a dreamland sort of tie, I guess, for Plymouth. With all due respect to Plymouth, Liverpool coming to home park, as you already mentioned, top of the Premier League, qualified top of the Champions League, Carabao Cup finalists as time of recording, of course. Like this is a massive occasion, but
Mm.
does progress in the FA Cup really stack up in terms of importance, or is survival in the Championship where it's at? What's your thoughts going into it?
Yeah, this is the thing what we were discussing on our pod because it's like we're not going to get many days like fun days like this that we get to just celebrate.
Mm,
But it's a day where like we don't want to take it too seriously and get battered because that ruins morale. And then, but we also don't want to we don't want to cast it off as something that doesn't matter. But then we're still in the game in like the 80th minute or something because then we'd be like kicking ourselves that we didn't take it seriously,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
because there's no way that you play a full strength side.
no.
Don't get me wrong, they'll still be excellent footballers, but like it's really it's really hard for us to weigh up how we play this, and I'm sure the management as well, because obviously every club has their own saying. But we have typical Argyle in that if we go and beat you somehow, if we somehow beat you 1-0, we'll only go and draw Stoke away in the next round and get beaten by them. And nobody needs like an extra trip to Stoke in the middle of a championship survival, battle. So I can't. It's almost like a no win, a no win situation, unless we do a Wigan Athletic and go and win the FA Cup and get relegated. Am I getting slightly ahead of myself? Maybe there, because I just can't see a win on Sunday. But it's one of those where no matter what happens, we should just like line underneath it. No matter what, if we win, great. If we lose, great. If we get battered, great. Doesn't matter. Just enjoy the day, write it off. Because if it affects morale, then yeah, then we're down and out without a whimper. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's the best way of approaching it, to be honest with you, from your perspective. Because as you say there, you can't really lose if you're going into it with that mindset of like, whatever the outcome,
yeah,
it's fine. We'll dust ourselves down and move on and deal with the next thing. Absolutely, yeah. In terms of the key players for you guys, who's been the standout? I know January wasn't particularly kind to you in one
yeah.
particular aspect, but short of that, now absentee, now former player, who have been the standout performers?
Yeah, that's the thing. We haven't really haven't really had any. Um, the summer window was really bad for us in the fact that we lost Michael Cooper, the best keeper outside the Premier League, for £2 million, and I stand by that. Even though Burnley fans will tell you it's James Trafford, it isn't. It's Michael Cooper, and I'm surprised he didn't get a move to like an Ipswich or somebody at the bottom end of the Premier League in the summer. And he's gone to Sheffield United. And then we lost Morgan Whittaker in January. We lost Ibrahim Sissoko to Sheffield Wednesday. We've lost some real creative assets, but what we did do in January is we strengthened at the back. So we've brought in two incredibly hard bastards in Maxi Talavirov, who's a Ukrainian international, and I can't remember his first name, Katic, who used to play for Rangers.
Okay.
Absolutely, they just both seem to just love defending. Like, there's a 7 minute video that we put up on our Argyle TV channel that's just 7 minutes of them celebrating winning challenges, and it's mad. It's mad. We've never had defenders like that, and it's brilliant. And hopefully they can keep that form up. But yeah, I don't really know. There's no one really that I would say is our out and out best player or danger man at the moment. We've got a left wing back in Timothy. Oh, I can't say his name. He's Polish. Let's just call him Puach.
Okay.
He's on loan from Holston Kiel.
Yes.
Pronunciation's not
Yeah,
my
yeah.
strong point. You may
No,
have noticed.
I know you are. Yeah, German side.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's on loan from them, and his deliveries are brilliant from the left hand side. He'll just whip balls in from anywhere and everywhere. And then going forward, we've got Mustafa Bundu, who was playing in the ninth tier for Hereford when they were reformed. He went on loan to Newquay AFC down in Cornwall in the 10th tier. Won the 10th tier with them through years of progression. Ended up in Denmark, and then went and played for FC Andorra, and is now one of our key threats. So he's a huge rise from the bottom to well, not the top yet, not until we get promoted anyway, um, to the championship, which is huge. But we're not really sure what he is or what he does. He's just a nuisance, basically. He's not a striker. He's not a winger. He's not a number 10, but he's just everywhere. But that's about it, really. Like, I'm just looking at our squad that started against West Brom, and I don't think there's a single player in there that would get into any other championship team, if I'm brutally honest. So,
Wow. Okay.
in terms of key threats, we haven't really got any, but unity is our main threat. Let's
Okay.
go.
That's
Community.
something. It's something. It's something. Okay. In terms of the approach from the manager, you touched upon it earlier on. It looks like he's made you more solid, and you've got
Mm,
defenders who have 7 minutes worth of celebrating tackles to call upon. So
yeah, yeah.
clearly, defence may well be the way forward for Plymouth at the weekend. Is that kind of how you expect in terms of the approach, in terms of the system? Just look to hang on for dear life as long as possible.
Yeah, I don't know how many of your listeners will remember back in 2017 that 0-0 draw up at Anfield. We were League Two then, and
Yeah.
we looked at our squad the other day, And if we could keep you to a 0-0 back then, when you had the likes of Coutinho and Sturridge and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Joe Gomez, granted a lot younger, but they
Yeah,
were
still.
still very good players. Divock Origi, don't forget. If we can keep them to a 0-0 draw, there is no reason why, with this squad, who should be on paper slightly better than our League Two squad, um, why we can't keep you quiet. We won't, but there is no reason why we can't. So yeah, I think it will be a very solid. I think we'll go even more defensive than we usually do. Incredibly low block to the point where like 10 men in the box type of low block, and I will celebrate every single second of it because it will be brilliant. And also, like, I know I'm not going to tarnish all Liverpool fans with the same brush, but I can imagine there'll be loads online going absolutely mental that we are just like sat in a low block just to deliberately try and piss you off, and that will be brilliant. Yeah,
I think it's to be expected, really, isn't
yeah.
it?
I
Yeah,
can't.
maybe
I can't wait for it. I can't wait. It'll be
relishing the
pretty.
prospect.
Yeah.
The neutral's dream, this game of football sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
Exactly.
yeah, any more blocks and tackles and clearances these defenders can add to that compilation as mentioned. Yeah, that
Yeah.
might be a win at the weekend. And if
Yeah.
the fans can get involved.
On the game up at your place, I remember Steve McManaman was like apoplectic with rage that we weren't attacking. He was
Well,
like,
what do you
"What?"
expect, I guess?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like it's that he's not exactly well liked in Plymouth, but it's kind of funny because they're like, what did you expect? Like,
I
what did
get
you
it.
expect from a League Two, mid-table League Two side up
Um,
against, one of the best sides in world football? Like,
Gonna go
what?
toe to toe for an
Yeah,
hour. Just not gonna
yeah.
happen, is it? I
What did you
always wonder about
expect?
that. Like it's literally exactly as you'd imagine it would go. And then Lucas Leiva, of course, was the hero
Yeah,
down at home park. So yeah, never to be
mm,
forgotten, Lucas Leiva. What a guy.
yeah,
In terms of home park, in terms of the occasion, you touched on it a little earlier on. Like I'm reticent to sit here and disrespect or be arrogant or any way, shape, or form, but this feels like just a boss day out for Plymouth. Like,
yeah.
listen, the result will be the result. You've already said yourself, you're quite laissez-faire about whatever be will be. But yeah, Liverpool coming to town, as I mentioned, Premier League, Champions League, etc., etc., etc. Just a great occasion.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. It's we don't get many days to celebrate being a Plymouth Argyle fan, and hopefully this is one of them. And even like I said, even if we do get dicked, I just want to be dicked in like and have a good day out. So,
Don't we all?
um, yeah, exactly. Like it will be interesting to see how you line up because there'll be part of the crowd that look at your lineup and go, do you know what, we can have this.
Mm.
Um, and it only takes one or two players to underestimate the task, and we have a chance. But I see that you've already rested your big guns in Allison, ready for the weekend anyway. So and Trent, so you know,
Got to
I
keep
don't
him sharp, mate. Got to keep him
exactly,
sharp. No,
exactly.
but yeah, I do think there will be changes for this one because obviously we've got the derby coming up at midweek. Played last night, quite a full strength team. Allison, notwithstanding, of course. Dead finally, Aaron. Before I let you go, prediction: how's it going to go?
I'm going. I said it on other pods. I'm going to say it on this one as well. I'm going 1-0 Plymouth Argyle.
Wonderful
It's
goal
not
scorer.
um, Mustafa Bundu. Why
Are you
not?
going to say that? Why
Yeah,
not?
I just
Absolutely.
I don't know why, but if there's nothing in this world if you're not positive, right? So
Yeah.
like, you, it's not going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm bottom of our podcast predictions league for a reason, um, and have to do some sort of forfeit, and I'm already resigned to that. Although I'm doing quite well on Super Six, so I'm not really sure how that's working out. But yeah, a sneaker 1-0 win, but it's not going to happen. It's not
Why
going to
not
happen.
though? Dream big. Just finally before I do let you go, where do people find your pod and all that sort of stuff, buddy?
Yeah, so we're live on YouTube and all your major podcast platforms. Just search Argyle Life or the Green and White Podcast. I don't know why they have different names. Not my decision. But if you find us on YouTube, we go live the day after every game around 8 p.m. So we're going to do a big one to dissect your 8-0 win or whatever it is, or our 1-0 win, hopefully.
Yeah.
But either way, it'll be a good stream on Monday.
Top man. Thank you so much for your time once again. Much appreciated. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care. I'll see you soon.